And we're back live for Week 11 in the NFL 2019-2020 season, Rock. Pretty big week last week, some upsets.
5 upsets.
We'll get into that if we can talk about it.
All right.
Let's see. So the first game this week is Pittsburgh going to see Cleveland. I think Pittsburgh's defense has been tough. They're 10th in the points allowed and 7th in yards per carry. And they've allowed 0 rushers over 100 yards this season. We'll see if Cleveland can answer that with their new running combo in the backfield. I think Cleveland can find a way to run the ball, get things done barely against Pittsburgh. What do you think?
Well, here's what I think. Pittsburgh has this new guy that I have named Fitzpatrick. First I thought it might be the quarterback, but it is a guy that they got from Miami who they're now talking about probably being the defensive player of the year. They got Bush. They got T.J. Watt.
Got some stats.
Mayfield's only 6 feet tall. I'm seeing Pittsburgh, even with Rudolph, I'm seeing Pittsburgh winning this one on the road. Throw the dog biscuits to the dog pound.
All right, upset it is. Another upset, I think it looks good. Atlanta going to see Carolina. They had 6 sacks last week. Their run game might be back. Carolina struggled against the run all season. They're last in the NFL in yards per carry. So I think that might be the winning recipe for Atlanta to get another win in a row against Carolina. Rock, what do you think?
Well, this is a must-win for Carolina. They're falling out of the wild card race because Minnesota and Seattle are playing like real winners, and either one of those guys could win the division.
Sure.
But regardless of that, Carolina, this is kind of a must-win. And Atlanta, I think they blew their cork last week, even though they were on the road to victory. I'm going with Carolina to cover the 6.5 and win outright.
Alrighty, moving on to the next game, we got Houston going to see Baltimore. One of the biggest games of the week for sure. Baltimore has been the Lamar show lately, averaging 78 yards per game, and they're first in rushing offense, and they're also first in passing and points per game and second. So their offense is looking unstoppable. Houston is going to keep it close, but I think they're going to lose a close one, Rock. What do you think?
Houston off a bye. I'm just going to have to say this, that Hyde ran for 160 versus Jacksonville off a bye. And yes, Baltimore has Ingram, okay?
Sure.
But now who's going to outpass who? Fuller's supposed to be back,
okay?
All right? I think that Baltimore will probably win, but I'm going to take Houston, and I'm pretty sure they're going to cover the 4.5.
All right, that's the upset. Moving on, Denver going to see Minnesota. Denver, they're going to be well rested. They have a good pass defense, but I don't think it's enough to stop Minnesota's balanced offense with the Dalvin Cook running the ball wherever he wants, and also Kirk Cousins looking really impressive with 18 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. I think that's a winning recipe for Minnesota. What do you think?
Well, yes, Minnesota silenced their big doubters.
Sure.
Oh, Kirk Cousins can't win in prime time.
Yep.
They beat Dallas kind of handily. Dallas played
It was a good game.
real poor coaching. We'll get into that. But Cook ran for 100 and something. Zeke had the Cowboys had 22 rushes for 55 yards.
Yeah, 2.4 yards per carry.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the Cowboys. I have Minnesota winning this by 14.
All right, the next game is Buffalo going to see Miami. Interdivision, but definitely down the stretch, down south. I think Buffalo is going to win this game. I think they're going to be able to run the ball again against Miami's defense. I don't think they're going to win 3 in a row. Third time's a charm for Buffalo, Rock. What do you think?
Well, hey, this is what disrespect Buffalo gets last week. 6-2 versus Cleveland, 2-6, and they're a 3-point underdog. Now the books know something we don't know.
Yeah. Maybe Hunt being back.
Here's the thing. Okay, Freddie Kitchens, he just doesn't have it. All right, and so I'm taking Miami for the upset. Freddie Kitchens is not the coach there. I'm so sorry, but I'm taking Miami at home just because I am.
Alrighty, moving on to this game, we got Saxonville going to see Indy. Indy's got Brissett back. I think Mac is going to have the attack against Jacksonville's run defense, which their defense is good, but they're 29th in yards per carry and 22nd in yards per game. So I think that gives Mac the chance to win this one. I'm taking Indy, big time, Rock. What do you think?
Nice numbers, good stats. That said, Foles is going to play.
True.
In the past couple of years, he's been 4-1 down the stretch. He's not the franchise quarterback, but Jack still has a good chance for the wild card because that whole AFC's all screwy.
Sure.
So I'm going to take Jacks. They're only getting 3, but Brissett's not going to play for sure. Okay, he's got a sprained.
We'll see.
Got a sprained MCL. It is a must game for both teams, but I'm going to go with Saxonville.
Alrighty, moving on to the next game, we got the Jets going to see Washington. The Jets' run defense has looked unstoppable. In the last 2 games combined, only 78 yards allowed. They held Saquon Barkley to only 1 yard and 13 carries, so they can shut down whoever they want. Washington, Adrian Peterson, no chance. Washington, no chance. Game over. Jets, what do you think, Brock?
Well, Haskins they're finally just going to say, okay, go ahead and play the rest of the year and see how it turns out. Who's taking Kaepernick? Anyway, yes, the Jets by at least a touchdown.
All right, we got Dallas going to see Detroit Lions. Dallas, they're feeling questionable after last week's loss to Minnesota. The Detroit Lions haven't felt really any better this season. They have shown glimpses. Is Matt Stafford going to play? Is that going to be a factor? Yes. I think Dallas is going to win the game because Zeke's going to be able to run all over Detroit. Rock, what do you think?
Well, number one, with Matt Stafford's pretty bad injury that is really undiagnosed other than some chipped bones, you're not going to risk your franchise quarterback, especially when you're out of the race.
All right.
So should Dallas win this game? They should. Do I think they will? Here's the problem. Jason Garrett is not a player's coach. Sure. He's not Gruden. He's not Mike Tomlin. He's not Sean Payton. He's not anybody, all right? When they show him, he's stoic on the sidelines. You can just take a picture and show it every time because the guy never changes his expression. And even when people come off the field, this guy is not a player's coach. He's got to go. I'm going to predict for some dumb reason that the Cowboys lose this game.
Ooh, it could happen any given Sunday. Another team that has a good coach is New Orleans going to see Tampa Bay. I think New Orleans is going to keep it very close again this game, but I think Tampa Bay might have some secrets to win this. Shaq, their best pass rusher, has 11.5 sacks this season, which is first in the NFL, and they've held opposing rush offenses to only 77 yards per game. Is Kamara going to be enough? I don't know. I'm taking Tampa Bay to win an upset, Rock. What do you think?
Kamara didn't have Jack last week.
He didn't.
At home. And like you said, Atlanta had how many sacks? 5? 6 sacks?
First time Breeze has been sacked 6 times since
Yeah,
2013.
yeah. Where's Teddy? Anyway, they're never going to do that. Sean Payton and
you don't say
Sean
Breeze.
Payton and Drew Brees are probably sleeping together. Anyway, I think the Saints go marching in. I think we don't know which Jameson is going to show up.
Yeah.
And I think because they're in the same division, New Orleans gets a couple more turnovers and they win this game by 10.
All right, moving on to this game. Arizona going to see San Francisco. Arizona is upset after the last time they lost against San Francisco in a close one. They kept it respectable, but, however, San Francisco is second in rush yards per game. Okay. So I think they're going to be able to run the ball against Arizona, which they've been struggling all season. And also, I think San Francisco wants to bounce back after last week's loss, their first loss of the season. Rock, what do you think? San Francisco, big time.
Well, like you said, Kittle is out, and San Francisco's saying, Arizona, won't you come my way? We're going to have music today, but we just didn't get to it. San Francisco, 13.5. My, oh my. They have something to prove after that national TV loss, so they're going to win by 20.
All right, moving on. New England going to see Philadelphia. This is a big test for both teams. New England wants to keep it respectable. Philly wants to keep it in contention. They want to keep it interesting. Yeah. I think Philly, if they can run the ball well, they can win. I think New England has a lot of turnovers. They have a chance. Tom Brady factor is always a big factor in every game, but their offense doesn't look the same. So I'll take Philly to win this game at home. Because the home field advantage. What do you think?
Hey, not so fast, my friend.
Okay. Not so fast.
First of all, Carson Wentz, if Philly doesn't turn the ball over, they will win. But I'm predicting Wentz for a fumble and 2 picks, and he throws as many grounders as Goff does. These guys that are so good, with only 1 good season and 7 good games, they're both overrated. I'm going to take New England, who's off a bye, okay? And I believe Philly is also, right?
I don't have those on my
yes, they are. So they're both off a bye. But there's no LaShawn, there's no running game. per se. They got Howard from the Bears, but I think New England on national TV, I think Carson Wentz gags it, turns it over 3 times, a fumble, 2 picks. New England wins by 10.
It's very possible. I do have New England needs 2 turnovers to win the game in my notes, so possible. But I think Philly might find a way to get things done.
Carson Wentz.
Sure. So moving on to a game that's probably pretty one-sided. Cincinnati going to see Oakland. Oakland, I think they're going to be able to run big with Josh Jacobs up the gut on the outside all day against Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going to be 0-10. Rock, what do you think?
Yeah. Number one, the Red Rifle's gone. He's rusty or he's injured or whatever. They're going to tell you he is. And I love John Gruden, the way he runs into the end zone.
Players coach.
Players coach. And the Raiders are 5-4. They could actually, if Kansas City fails,
they're in the mix.
Well, they're in the mix for first place.
Yeah.
They are. They won't get it. Kansas City will come on. But I'd love to see Gruden get in the playoffs because next year they're going to Vegas.
All right, so we both have Oakland in that game. Again, moving on to Sunday night. Chicago Bears going to see the Rams. I think that the Bears are going to get to Goff. They're going to make him feel pressure. I think if Mitchell Trubisky can maybe get at some design runs to get some first downs, some third down conversions, that gives Chicago a chance. I think the Rams haven't looked the same. They're not last year's Rams. Their offense is middle of the pack at best.
Yep.
So I'll take Chicago to squeak one out, maybe, against the Rams. Like, what do you think?
Well, that takes a lot of balls. All right. First of all, Trubisky was outpassed by the nobody from Detroit. Okay.
Sure.
The Bears were outgained by Detroit at home by about 157 yards.
All right.
So, God bless them. They got to win. With Goff being picked twice and fumbling, which we already brought up, which is what Wentz is going to do, the Bears have a chance. But I think LA. This is a Sunday night game. I think LA has to show that, hey, we don't really suck. Right. They win by 10.
All right, they're still around for sure. All right, another big game. Kansas City going to see the Chargers. Kansas City, they're Pat's back. He had 3 touchdowns last week. However, they're 30th in the NFL in rush yards per carry, and also they're 31st in the NFL in rush yards per game. So I think the Chargers, with their last 2 big rushing offensive attacks, 145 yards a game with Melvin Gordon being back. He had 100 yards last week. I think this might be close, but Kansas City squeaks it by with Patrick Mahomes' magic. Rock, what do you think?
Well, they're going to Mexico, okay? And Melvin Gordon could have a very big game. Melvin Gordon could have a very big game. And you don't know which Rivers is going to show up. As I was at that Packer game, he looked great. The next week he sucked.
Sure.
I love Kansas City. I love Andy Reid. I love Mahomes. And so I'm going to go, I don't know what the line is, but I think Kansas City's going to win and cover. Chargers are going to be close in the first half, but Kansas City is going to win by 8-10.
All right, sounds good. So that wraps up our predictions for this week. Rock, what did you think about last week? What was your biggest upset?
My biggest upset was New Orleans losing.
Yep.
They must have turned down the temperature in the Superdome because Matty was Matty Ice.
Yes, he was.
And Miami winning was also something else. I mean, they might win again this week, and people could be talking, well, playoffs. Next year.
No Miami playoffs this season.
Pittsburgh winning was a big one.
It looked impressive.
Yeah. And the Cowboys losing, that was no surprise. Kansas City, a squeaker, close game. Henry looked great. Yep. Ran over Kansas City, which Melvin Gordon might do. What do you think,
Kansas City can't stop the run. That's what I just said in my last synopsis of the last game for Sunday night. I think there's definitely an interesting couple of weeks ahead. The next 4 weeks can be proving or disproving for a lot of teams. Either make or break their playoff run. So we'll see how the next couple of games go for a couple teams.
Well, when they talked about Kansas City 3 weeks ago not stopping the run, they shut down.
It's been all season.
No, they shut down whoever they played. They shut them down big time.
Sure.
Well, that was Minnesota. They shut them down big time. Cook got nothing. And I don't think Andy Reid game planned very well for this. But hey, we're going to see you next week. Yep. And God bless, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, guys, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let us know if you disagree or agree with our picks. And good luck this week. Signing out, Rockin' Bear, season week 11.